Welcome back to some professional StarCraft to a best of 7 between two fan favorites, one new and one old, both in age and in story. But without further ado, because I don't think I'm going to get much opportunity for a nice drawn-out filler intro like this is Hero Marine versus Showtime. No, things are going to be a lot more explosive, because in the bottom right, we have, from Storm Gaming, it's MaxPax. First known for slapping gateways down across the map, and now known for still a lot of that, but also so much more. Able to play a full-on macro game, but let's be honest, prefers not to. I think the same can be said of his opponent, though. All the way from Korea, the 2016 BlizzCon champion, now on Team Shopify Rebellion, the most micro Terran of them all, it's ByuN. ByuN not finding his former success since his return from the military, but still finding success, still doing better than the majority. He always, it feels like he still has some of the same habits as, well, Terrans no longer can get away most of the time with building units that just start with M. Much of the time they can, alright? Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, Mines, Magos, they're all good. But at the end of the day, the Terran players who have a better focus, sometimes on mechanical units, whether it be tanks, Liberators, Vikings, or on just a quicker transition into things like Ghosts, are finding more success. We'll see which ByuN we have today, because the old school Terran was have 3-4 medevacs on every side of the map and start slapping down Nexi like it's going out of style. And it's pretty much out of style, especially since MaxPax is someone I definitely think of as not really huge on the macro plays. Well, Reaper comes in. ByuN gonna do his best Clem impression here. Yes, the unit that he personally got nerfed twice. Unfortunately, oh my god. Oh my dog. Did the dog have anything to do with it? He loses the Reaper, which kind of undercuts the excitement of killing 2 probes. And that means the Adept can go halfway across the map instantaneously with the first shade, which is not the ideal. Like, the Reaper, killing probes is nice, but the existence of the Reaper ties the Adept back at home, at least for a short time. Until, oh my god, the knee breaker build. Double concussive shell Marauders. Like,
who does that?
ByuN starts out with one of the most old school but also unexpected builds. MaxPax just gonna sit there and take it while he shades the Adept out. The concussive shells, the knee pain continues all the way across the map, but the shade gets him out of it. So, this is 2 Marauders with concussive shell, which is, yes. I don't know what he plans to do with these. I don't think I've seen this. And it wasn't like a proxy. He just built these. No, did he see the probe? Yeah, MaxPax maybe thinking about a 3rd, but he doesn't have that many minerals for it. Possibly just looking exactly for this. Spots the Cyclone as well on the other side. 2 Marauders just trundling up here like they own the place. Gonna just slap a Stalker. But, yeah, well, so this, it's still 2 Marauders. The Stalkers take a lot of damage. Oh my god, Stalkers suck. Oh!
What a thing!
MaxPax finishes Blink in time to dodge the last Marauder grenade, because Marauders were just punching through one. But still, 1 HP. It looks like, not unexpectedly, the Marine Marauder is out in full force. Not even a starport from ByuN. He's building a tank. So this is about as anti-Blinkstalker as you get. Like, right now, he's not just against Blinkstalkers. He's formed a non-profit charity for people who've been hurt by Blinkstalkers before. All right? He's got ophthalmologists. He's got most diamond Terrans. And he's got everything he needs to make sure Blinkstalkers will no longer terrorize the main base. Now, the only issue here is that moving out still has the same weaknesses. It's still going to be a tough time because the Blinkstalkers will continually kite units across the map. But if they get even touched, even a strong glance from these Marauders could be troublesome because concussive shells will lock it down. This is just finally getting medevacs here. Over 6 minutes before they start, which is quite late in the scheme of things. Adept Shade. Charge is the choice of MaxPax. In wild charge lots... Oh, awkward. Wild charge lots can definitely overwhelm this army. How many gateways? MaxPax up to 8 gates. Alright, he's not been slouching. He's also got a Warp Prism with charge lots headed towards the main. So enough to undercut this. ByuN just kind of slaps down a third command center here. Just out in front. Not trying to hide it. Oh wow, he stems like most of his army to discourage the Blinkstalkers from being here, and he will do so successfully. Another Stalker found by the Cyclone. Charge lots in the main. More warped in. ByuN, who was halfway across the map, just runs back. Which... I mean, the charge lots will be cleaned up. One thing for MaxPax is he's not building any splash damage. I'm trying to find some bonuses here. So ByuN, he does kill the Warp Prism, which a little lazy of MaxPax. And there's no real splash damage. And by that I mean there's no splash damage at all. So for ByuN, this means his best option is to micro Marines and Marauders and Medevacs. And mines. So essentially right now what's happened is ByuN has been put into his comfort zone. Of course, it's still a whole lot of economy and army supply he has to contend with. But there's nothing here. There's the Robo Bay from MaxPax. He's only now getting +1. Charge lots don't really deal with bio that well on their own. A Ghost Academy's coming up, and ByuN taking his third. He's not all inning here. The Stalkers are already in position. The army is spotted. The double drop, though. One snapped up, the other one badly bruised and gonna be shut down. The charge lots at the back. Widow Mines are taken out. They took a bite, though. Well, ByuN, he's getting whittled down, but there still aren't any Colossi. The army supply heavily in favor of the Terran. +1 attack is done. Charge lots trying to close in. There's still the medevac at the back. Enhanced shockwaves for the Ghost radius is on the way. The EMP radius, rather. The first Colossus is started alongside extended thermal lance. So until that comes out, ByuN has, on paper, a better army. Of course, things don't always work out that way. Heading for the fourth, Stalkers blink away, charge lots into the third. Another round of Widow Mines will soften them up. And reinforcements coming down to help deal with this. Drops in the back. Medevac cleared up. A couple Zealots will be warped in to deal with it. The charge lots will slice apart a little bit of the bio, but not enough. Widow Mines finding a connection at the front. Colossus. First Colossus is out. Extended thermal lance still a long way off. No armory for ByuN means that the Widow Mines are easily targetable after the fight. MaxPax hallucinating an Archon, trying to get it out in front, eat some hits. The probes were pulled as well, I think by accident, but MaxPax drives ByuN back, and without an armory, he's gonna struggle to keep... Wow, really? Are you seriously blinking Marauders into your medevacs? Is that what we're doing? ByuN gonna ByuN. No matter I mean, he is building Ghosts and Vikings. It's not like he's not working his way up to a better unit composition, but is he doing it quickly enough to compete with MaxPax, who's now starting to pull away in the supply count? He's growing his Colossus number. A couple Vikings are not going to make the difference, though a few EMPs very much might. The Stalkers, caught between a rock and a hard place for a moment, get snapped up. A few Marauders, sliced. 2-2 starts for ByuN. MaxPax has been sitting on one Forge, now thinking better of it, adding a second. How many Colossi on the field? 4 Colossi. That's the money number. 4 Colossi means the Bio Army really can't do much anymore. Vikings are pretty much required. Maybe tanks, maybe Liberators, but Vikings are by far the best option. Yeah, Colossi still burning. Sure, no shields, but it's not like you can get close enough. Half the army EMP'd, the other half EMP'd later. Not looking particularly great. The sentry's dead weight in front. Some... blinking into the prism there as well. The boys are pulled. One Colossus may go down. Immortals holding the line. A lot of damage being dealt on both sides. Vikings almost knocked down one, but the juggle's too damn good. And MaxPax slices through in game 1. ByuN stuck on his Marine Marauder medevac, and MaxPax outgrew it. Just couldn't find the damage. I personally, as most of my commentary is, don't know what 2 concussive shell Marauders were supposed to do. Even if they did anything, like, it feels a little like putting it's ByuN though. So Terran not known as much as Protoss for their ability to reinvent the wheel when it comes to the early game, but ByuN will damn well try. I do hope we avoid the builds that make it very obvious. Honestly, I think ByuN had an opportunity that he may not have realized, because almost every Protoss, upon seeing you're going for mass bio, they'll essentially get map control like MaxPax did, and then go straight into splash damage. Dealer's choice, whether it's going to be Storm or Colossi. But it's a pretty outdated strategy to go for the big charge lot swell, because that's vulnerable to exactly what Terrans want to do, which is a bunch of bio units, maybe with a few mines mixed in. But I think ByuN was being cautious about Colossi, Storm, stuff like that, and he didn't want to press the issue. But if he had, of course, if and but when, whatever, he had an opportunity. I think a lot of Protoss don't respect the power of the bio ball, especially when competently microed, and find themselves without enough units to deal with it. MaxPax, that was the opposite of what we usually see. MaxPax likes his fancy units, usually. Disruptors, carriers, obviously Blink Stalkers. But he went with the more brute force approach. Oh, can we get... Yes, Protoss actually won a game. No, it's not Zest, Jimmy. Maybe later. Anyways. Reaper on the way. We're on hardwire. I don't know how much of that game was indicative. This is a best-of-7. 90% sure. We're going to check that between the match, as not big on spoiling, but this is a long series, which means I think we'll see a decent amount of those kind of one-off builds, like concussive shells. We'll probably see a proxy gate or two. Once again, not Hero Marine versus Showtime, so we're not going to get 7 games in a row of 1 gate and 1 Rax expand. Oh, he's doing it again. So it's a thing. It's a thing. That's what I'm getting from this. I think it partially is just anti-blink stalker here. Oh, the Reaper. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, my God. Well, the Reaper tried to nudge its way past the Adept, but the Adept shouldered it into the gas geyser there and gave it just the split second of time needed. And now the Adept's going to be able to scout this. I think MaxPax is going to be surprised once again to see that this is indeed concussive shells. The Adept may die this time. Yep. That's a little awkward. So here we are again. Okay, Terrans, take notes. It's essentially the same build. The 2 Marauder hit squad. I think MaxPax kind of surprised this is happening again. It is more of an anti-blink build. This Marauder's just stomping across the map. Yeah, what's it to you? Build some units. I know you only have 1 Stalker at this stage of the game. MaxPax is like, technically you're correct. And this is a bit awkward. Alright, I guess we'll use the Oracle. We're trying to out-micro an Oracle while killing a Pylon. You may get the Pylon. Yeah. So, many Protoss have gotten used to just slapping down a 3rd and the Terran not even trying to punish them. Because it feels like the cost of the units you need to punish that 3rd is far outweighed by... Well, it costs a lot less for the Protoss to defend. And I don't think that's untrue here either. Because he just kind of lost 2 Marauders. For a Pylon and an Adept. I guess he scouted the Oracle. And he may get lucky here as well. Double locks onto a single Stalker. ByuN definitely breaking out some fresh builds here. Yeah, he built a 2nd Cyclone, I think, upon seeing the Oracle. The double lock is important because it means he manually locked onto it. He did not just let... Because otherwise it'll only lock onto 1 per Cyclone. Not that it mattered much there. So here we are again. Blink is on the way. In fact, it's nearly delivered. Just a few seconds. It's all done. The bunker's not there yet. The Cyclones trying to snipe him off. Just kind of walking past awkwardly. Gets an SCV as a consolation prize. 5 more gates on the way, so I imagine charge is in the future. Same response here. Hey, if it ain't broke. ByuN, working up the bio build. This game, he does not have a Warp Prism to contend with. MaxPax, not able to get a Robo alongside all this. He opened with the Stargate. MaxPax spots the Medevacs and keeps track of them with the Revelation. Building 5 pylons at a time. That is not a mistake. It is partially spotter pylons and partially knowing he's going to be warping in like 20 supply at a time. Actually, yeah, he's up to 8 gates here. 16 supply every 30 seconds or so, if possible. Well, all this is spotted. Bruises a Cyclone. Stalkers blink back. That's still a lot of bio to deal with. Now, this is the vulnerable timing. Wait, the charge isn't even done yet. There's nothing pulling ByuN back to his base. He's got +1. He's got combat shield. He's got stim. He's got plenty of bio. And now we see the fight that we didn't get to see last game. Yeah, the vulnerable to force fields on the ramp. The charge lot's trying to deal with any of the reinforcements here. They will do an okay job. Charge lot's still using the Guardian shield to reduce that damage. A few more charge lots cut off. ByuN stressing those medevacs out right now. Not able to find an angle to do critical damage. MaxPax building a proxy gate on the other side in order to warp in quickly. Subscribing to the Zest style of no robo play. Now ByuN not all in here. He has a 3rd. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Ghost Academy momentarily. Though the armory was pretty far out last time. Not that they're the same thing. The charge lots make their way through, but reinforcements will hold for now. Blink Stalkers doing their best. MaxPax has been diligent about it. ByuN is continually threatening the main, especially since MaxPax expanded this way. Trying to walk in. Doesn't really... He just kind of eats a Widowmine hit. A bit of an awkward... I don't know about that one. Using the minerals here. I'm not sure who this helps more. Well, it's a bit of an awkward fight. ByuN forced to pick up almost certainly a select all army hotkey here, as MaxPax starting to realize he may have just handed ByuN his main, which is not the ideal outcome. Depowers a couple gates, picks up with the rest, gets out. And MaxPax may be losing control of the situation right now. But he does have about 15 charge lots on the other side. Maybe more. So things are about to get weird. This could all end in 5 seconds or go into a super drawn-out base trade. And I have no idea which one is more likely. Widowmines finding connections. Charge lots getting outflanked by Bio, but another 20 charge lots heading in. Charge lots in the front, ByuN microwing. There's still 20 supply of Bio. A whole clutch of charge lots at the natural. 5, 6 SCVs. The Widowmine's gonna go down. The armory isn't done, so Cloak is not available yet. The drops... Well, there's no medevacs with units in them, so I have to assume they got shut down. But MaxPax lost so many charge lots here. The last medevac gunned down. So, this was the most even possible outcome. Everything on the opponent's side of the map was cleaned up, and on their side was defended. So, that goes for both players so far. MaxPax, though, not able to replace nearly as easily as ByuN is. DT, he just kind of lost. It was a Venn diagram scan, but he just kind of lost 3 DTs. MaxPax has now lost 1,400 more minerals, which is pretty substantial in a game where only 4 to 5,000 have been lost. There is a cloaked Widowmine drop. The first... Wait, that's not the first robotics facility. Observer on the way. There's no cannons in the main, but there are stalkers in position. More Widowmines heading out. So this evens out. But MaxPax is not in nearly as good of a position as he was in the previous match, as ByuN was able to maintain his economy and is working... Well, he's got a Ghost Academy. He's got 2-2. The Colossi are taking their sweet time getting here. Finds the proxy gate and kills a few more charge lots for fun. 4th command center on the way, matching the 4th nexus of MaxPax. And the Bio army's starting to get pretty significant. DT Blink is done. Unfortunately, there's only 1 DT, so that feels like maybe a bit of a misguided investment. It's nice to have, but it's more of a late game option rather than a fighting one. As MaxPax, no, he does not. I don't know if he even knows about the mine. Well, medevac coming in. MaxPax on top of the blink, guns it down. He spots it. DT in the 3rd. The Ghost will clean it up with the help of the turret. There's another drop ready at the 3rd. The main issue here is the Bio army. ByuN loads up 40 supply into medevacs and heads towards the main, and there aren't nearly enough stalkers to deal with it. There's going to have to be a lot happening incredibly quickly here. Gets 1 medevac, not nearly enough. Most of the army heading back. There's still a Widowmine here. ByuN once again ransacking the main, looking for whatever he can get. The stalkers. He needs to blink on those medevacs. It's already too late. He's going to clean this up. Oh, another mine hit here. 64 to 65 workers. That means ByuN is continually able to put this out here. The Ghosts may be caught. Of all the units to catch, but instead the Ghosts catch the Colossi. Drop an EMP. 2-2, about to finish. Medevac still sharking around. 3 Colossi, but not with extended thermal lance. And since 2-2 is done, there's an opportunity for the Bio army to actually fight this. EMPs across the board. A 4th Colossus. Oh, but the medevac's at the back. It's unclear. Oh, another drop into the main. The revolving door of medevacs. This time, 6 medevacs of Bio and Ghosts. Some valuable drops here. MaxPax bleeding out probes on all sides, but ByuN has a lot of army supply committed to this. The Forge itself targeted and denied. The rest being chased down. The Stalkers have a blink. It's not enough. Missed the opportunity to kill even one medevac. The spotter pylons will see all of this. Immortals are on the way. Did he lose the Robobay or he just wants Immortals? I mean, both are good. There are Vikings being produced. MaxPax scrambling. ByuN seems to have the momentum now, with the medevacs running MaxPax all around the map, including his own main. Some Immortals. The Immortals are okay. I'm surprised they're not Disruptors, and I guess so was MaxPax, as he chrono boosts out 2 Disruptors. As Immortals against this army are helpful, but not as helpful as the opportunity to have some more reliable splash damage that isn't taken out by Vikings. Of course, Disruptors anything but reliable, but they are devastatingly dangerous. The 2 Ds of destruction now on the table, DTs and Disruptors. MaxPax has held on against the multi-pronged aggression of ByuN, but there's a big difference between not losing and winning. And right now, MaxPax is definitely in the first camp. More Disruptors being chronoed. Stalkers looking for an opportunity. Spot the main army. Gets a medevac. What are the upgrades? +2 against 2-2. ByuN not getting 3-3. Restarting +1 armor is MaxPax. The Vikings looking for an opportunity. There's still 20-something supply of bio, including ghosts. ByuN just has ghosts everywhere. He's not been shy about producing them. Another shot wards away the army. Army on the right side, though. Looking for an opportunity. Maybe scouted here. A bit of a giveaway on that scan, but will it matter? The Robos and Robobay are vulnerable. Charge lots heading back to deal with this. Some Stalkers and Charge lots closing in. Another round. But the EMP makes the Stalkers so vulnerable. ByuN microing his heart out here, as he always does, but he's going to lose all these units. MaxPax loses a lot himself. So far, MaxPax has lost it. 3,000 more minerals, but a few hundred less gas. Bit of an awkward position here to deal with the bio army, which can hit the probes from the low ground, exposing exposing Colossi to the Vikings, the Stalkers to EMP, and the probes just caught in the middle. Down to 51 probes. Vikings still doing their best. ByuN feels like he's choking him out right here. MaxPax doesn't have anywhere else to mine from. He's running out of mineral patches. This base is by no means safe to take. He has to get the base over to the right side, or just go for it. He warped in 10 or so DTs here, which is quite a commitment. Some more Disruptor shots, forcing ByuN back. Oh, he comes back in at the last second, really working the Disruptors. A dangerous game. The DT's looking for an opportunity. MaxPax. Anything to distract ByuN right now. Slicing through the army. The Vikings hit the deck. Meanwhile, EMPs across the board. Vikings gunning down a Colossus. Where are the Disruptors? Looking for a shot. Finds the mark. Another one drives ByuN back. And he picks up into the medevacs, which is his safe space. Meanwhile, DTs are eviscerating the reinforcements. ByuN plummets in supply. The DTs, just because you can see them, doesn't mean you can stop them. Blinks up to the high ground, slices some ghosts. The DT count. Oh, MaxPax does it! ByuN once again tried to outmaneuver MaxPax, but he found the kidney shot. It was 10 DTs in the wrong place at the wrong time, and ByuN crumbles. Down to 120 supply. I want to actually show how stressful that is. Let's go to the ByuN action cam in those last 30 seconds. As he's got 3-3 on the way. He feels like he's in a comfortable position at 190 supply. He's pressing on the only mining base of MaxPax. Now, this is when usually Liberator production should be starting. Or, you know, something that isn't vulnerable to Disruptors. But, so, ByuN in a good spot, but the DT is dangerous. He slaps the Land Vikings button. Disruptors dodging back. Looking for more. Another shot comes in, eats a hit, has to dodge back again, loses most of the Vikings. Oh, what happened to these medevacs? The medevacs are trying to head home. He accidentally hits the ping key. He's panicking. It's a disaster. Trying to head everything back. DTs are horrible. The army is just too fragile. ByuN lost all the initiative. And disruptors are not a unit that you want to fight on defense against. Wow. That was a rough loss for ByuN, who looked like he was one good drop away from winning. For like 8, 9, 10 minutes. But MaxPax holds on, and he finds the opportunity to strike back. Well, a rough start for the Korean Terran, but has plenty more opportunities. MaxPax, though, falling back to the classics. We're 20 seconds in. There's a probe on the map. Now, yeah, it looks like it's just going to be the MaxPax build, which is proxy gate with no gate at home. The innovation of the MaxPax build was realizing you don't need to have a gateway at home. You can just build a gate out on the map, and if you really need to, you can recall something. Which is pretty filthy, but I mean, if you don't expect this build from this player, comes in, I think that was a convincing pathing on the probe, because you can tell if the probe comes in from a weird angle, that is sometimes a giveaway. So the best players will reorient their probe like it's a normal build and come in from the direction of their main. ByuN. Okay. Take some damage. A lot of damage on an SCV, which may come back to bite him. The gateway is done. Cybercore built in the main immediately. Zealot in production. The probe is back. A Marine on the way. Oh no. And then a reactor. Oh no. There's going to be a grand total of 1 Marine. It's the concussive shell build again. He really likes this I don't think it's necessarily good or bad. In fact, against this, the concussive shells could be amazing. But it's interesting he's used it now. This is 3 games in a row. Surprise! We're here.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Well, the thing is, this build might be tailored to defend against the MaxPax, but we finally found the best case scenario for concussive shell marauders, which is up against these early zealots. Now, of course, you have to finish the concussive shells and have the marauders, but yeah, this should be handled. As the zealots will never close the distance, the stalker can't get enough damage. If the zealots get any hits off, though, it is a problem. Alright, marauder microing back. Catches the stalker, but doesn't quite seal the deal. 8 clicks his own bunker, but yeah, 3 SCVs lost. MaxPax, in all his infinite greed and wisdom, also has a Nexus already done here. The stalker's looking for an opportunity. You gotta be real careful. You catch one, it should be dead. Oh, looking... I think a missed target there from MaxPax. Oh, he starts on the next one. No, he's not going to win this fight. Oh, no. Oh, no. You got to kill the pylon, ByuN. ByuN. Oh, no. You got to... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, this has taken a turn. He did not kill the pylon. This isn't over. Now, 2 Stalkers do not match up with 2 Marauders. What will be the warping? A Zealot. And try to get any hits off here. And does. Might kill the Marauder. Just get the pylon. He's warping in a Stalker. No, you gotta be careful. Oh, I don't know. ByuN may be overthinking this. The Zealot is getting way too many hits. Oh, they kill each other. 2 Marines. The battle continues. 2 more Stalkers warped in. Both sides escalating. But the pylon remains. And now a warp prism is heading across the map, which you could technically use to dodge Marauder shots. Which, I don't know if that's where we're going, but I would not be surprised. So it doesn't get much easier from here. There is no blink. It's only 3 gates. It's just 3 gate robo. There is a Twilight and a Robo Bay on the way. A 4 Stalker hit squad. It looked like ByuN had this locked down, but he was 50 HP on a pylon away. Now, that wouldn't have necessarily ended it, but that is 1/3 of the gateways on the map. And it's not like ByuN is in a horrible position. He hasn't lost that much. He's traded pretty well. The turret creating a bit of a wall here, making it that much harder. MaxPax looking toward a 3rd Nexus. And he does have a robotics bay, which means Colossus on the way. And now finally the pylon will be slain. The gateway taken out as well. Just making sure all remnants of this tomfoolery have been erased. Blank is halfway done. Colossus nearly completed. Extended Thermal Lance just begun. And ByuN on his side has 1-1. But +1 is now done alongside Combat Shield finishing up. Without that, 1 Colossus is everything. And there is a prism. That prism is a huge deal. And that prism is the reason that ByuN cannot commit to this attack. MaxPax will not lose the Colossus or the Immortal. You may lose some Stalkers, but ByuN will lose a lot more. There's a Marine.
Research complete.
Lucky Marine. Oh god, that was too close. Yeah, the Observer kind of important. Links up to the high ground a threat. The Warp Prism doesn't want to expose itself. Oh, ByuN picks up into the medevacs and hopes that's going to solve his problems. And we will see. We've seen this story in this series and with this player before. We'll pick up into the medevacs and then we'll see what happens. I believe the probe saw this, or it was the most, oh my, he may have missed it by that much in 3 different ways. Yeah, there's nothing in the main. The tech is exposed. The Colossi are at the 3rd. This is actually the most perfectly timed and placed drop. He can easily get the Forge. He's targeting it. He's got to be careful. Oh, it's just Stalkers. You can fight Stalkers. You can beat Stalkers. You can kill Stalkers. The probes are trapped. The Stalkers are the ones trapping them. And he gets out. The Bio Army. MaxPax with a fumble on the recall. Loses 16 probes. Shield battery overcharged potentially, though that battery could easily be targeted down. The medevac is still alive at the back. A big mistake out of MaxPax. He was so close. If that probe had been at the watchtower, or if that pylon had been built 10 seconds later, the medevacs would have been spotted. But ByuN, with luck on his side, thread the needle between all the vision MaxPax was trying to gain. It literally could not have been better timed, even if he planned it. And there's no way to plan that. So ByuN gets a lot more damage than he ever deserved to. But is it enough damage to get what he needs? I think so. That's a lot of probes. There's no upgrades. It is 3 Colossi. But they don't have +1. They don't have charge lots in front. The charge lots are in the main being cleaned up. The Bio Army gonna fight. Stims around the force fields. Just helps them spread them out. Immortal knocked down. Colossi in trouble. The drop in the main is too much as well. A few charge lots are not cutting it. Shield battery overcharge on 1 stalker. That's where we are. Targets the battery. Deals with all of this. ByuN not able to lay down the killing blow. Oh, and he picks up into the medevacs because that's how he lives his life. With afterburners. He boosts home, which is marginally faster than walking. The charge nuts come in. He stims everyone! Which is actually a bit of a mistake, I think. As the medevacs are so low on energy, because ByuN really likes to work the stim button. More charge lots into the main, kind of going down into the reinforcements. MaxPax has been quite wasteful with these sort of drops in the series so far. Oh, not another one of these recalls. Oh my god, he gets out. That's actually a huge deal for MaxPax. A Dark Shrine on the way. So, once again, MaxPax is on the ropes. ByuN is one good attack away from laying it down. But again, MaxPax ain't dead, and he has some of the most dangerous units. ByuN is also 1 bad attack away from evening this game up, and 2 bad attacks away from losing. This time, yeah, he got lucky last time. This time, it's kind of... I don't know if he was expecting to be hidden, but he's not getting away with it again. Sends all his medevacs, because of course he does. Yeah, every single medevac loads up all his bio units and says, this is how I'm going to play StarCraft. Well, ByuN still threatening with a huge amount of supply. I don't think this Nexus is long for this game. Yeah, we'll see if there's any time for a cancel. Nope. It's just too much damage too quickly. MaxPax is going to be kind of boxed into 3 bases here, which is better than I expected him to be when the first drop got him. DT Blink immediately after the Dark Shrine finishes. He knows what he likes. The DT Blink did win last game, despite seeming like an odd investment at the time. MaxPax is really, like, he plays for crits, alright? Like, you don't have critical damage in SC2, but... do you, though? Because that... oh my god. ByuN! Oh! Well, he just drops right on the Stalkers, and since MaxPax didn't react instantaneously, he didn't expect this. It's so obviously a bad idea. The rest of the army, though, chases back while ByuN gets some position on the map. ByuN just dives into the main. He's got a quota to fulfill, alright? If he doesn't drop at least 3 times a minute, well then, he's gonna lose his dubstep contract. Charge lots cleaned up. MaxPax gonna try his hand at wasting a bunch of minerals. A few DTs in the main, and now MaxPax has retaken the map. Now, this is not an army that can break those tanks. The tank's the only thing able to hold here, and the tank's more than enough. DT's cleaned up. MaxPax down 30 supply, just like that. 50 in total. He lost so much. Watch out! And there's a bite. Oh, things are flying all over the place. MaxPax has lost a couple thousand more resource, 1,000 more gas. But a couple disruptor hits could change all that. Oh, I thought that was the boys. No, it's just a ridiculous amount of bio units right here. God, the disruptors are so squishy. Those are +2 Marauders. Liberators in production. He's starting to fill in more and more units as time goes on. Tanks, Liberators. Okay. Who would have thought? MaxPax gonna be losing this base. ByuN just kind of annexes it. All the probes there. Pretty dead. +2 ground weapons. Pretty done now for MaxPax, though. Not sure how much of a factor that's gonna be. ByuN decided to focus his efforts forward. DTs with Blink onto the tanks here, potentially. EMP. Well, the scan. Tanks kill some of this. More DTs with Blink. Here we are again. I don't know. He blinks away just in time to avoid the scan. ByuN's still stuck on 3 bases. He's mined out of his main. MaxPax is actually ahead on income because he doesn't mine out his bases as quick. Double kill on the tanks. Another shot. Center mass. The target fire not there. The tanks mostly down, but EMPs across the board. Shield battery overcharge. A huge deal. ByuN attacking into an entrenched position, trying to blitzkrieg it, but MaxPax just beats it back. More DTs with Blink. Disruptor shot a little late to the party. Again, MaxPax refuses to die, and ByuN maybe a little too hot on the trigger. The tanks stacked up, and he loses them to Raptors. MaxPax desperate for a 4th. ByuN landing his to the south. The Colossi, not enough of them. 3-3s closing in as well, making it so Disruptors might be the only option here soon. The Nexus, MaxPax feeling like this is kind of a need to hold, but he's going to lose it. The Viking count is dwindling. So is the Nexus count. No, he's doing it again! Except this time might be the time. As MaxPax is running out of minerals, he doesn't have the army supply to split between these bases. There's just kind of DTs all over the place. 3-3 is now done. There's a solid... Wait, okay, I can't do math very good. There's a 4 upgrade advantage now. There's a 4 upgrade advantage for ByuN. Now, Disruptors don't care about your silly 4 upgrade advantage, but almost every other unit does. At this point, nothing but DTs can reliably kill bio units outside of the Raptors. DTs and Raptors, the most dangerous. ByuN's still not laying it down. He was building Liberators at some point. I don't know where they went. He has 2 Liberators, which is not enough to really press the issue. His tanks, you could tell he didn't really care very much for his tanks' welfare by how he used them in the last fight. This bio army, wow, he's just going. He knows the upgrades are everything, and without a Disruptor, the Marauders almost take out an Immortal and a Colossus. But once again, ByuN biting off a little more than he can chew. I mean, he does chew some of it. He's big on chewing. But he just goes. Both of these players don't really know when to stop. And this has created quite a dynamic here in this game and this series. Oh god, without Disruptors, he needs to split his Disruptors, which is one of the hardest things to do in this game. Oh my god, but he's landing the shots. Hitting Disruptor shots on 2 different fronts is nearly impossible against any players paying any attention. ByuN's drag back. MaxPax just keeps losing supply that he can't replace. He's down to 47 workers. He's still got 6 Disruptors. But the bio army is just too damn strong. +3 weapons is about to finish, but everything's so fragile. ByuN actually has, well, he's got mostly Marines and Braves. He's got 23 Marauders, 24 Marines, 7 Medevacs, and also he acknowledges that Ghost Tanks and Liberators exist. And back to the main! Now, there's enough Stalkers to kill 1 or 2 of these Medevacs with a very quick reaction time. The Medevacs are heading... Will MaxPax react? Oh, he doesn't quite have enough to one-shot. A recall! The Disruptors fire a volley. The broadside misses the mark. Another shot. Targeted down. Another one. Another one. They're not finding it. The Stalkers are fighting. The Colossi are dealing with this, but MaxPax is spread too thin. And ByuN batters him down. Still probably a little too close for comfort, but still too far to make up the difference. ByuN puts 1 on the board. What a mess. Wow, he really... ByuN just... when in doubt, pick up and head to the main. It's good to see ByuN's... most of ByuN's strategies have not changed for 10 years. ByuN's strategies have not changed since MaxPax was approximately 6 years old. Which was a solid year before he started playing... Actually, maybe 2 years before he started playing StarCraft 2, according to Wikipedia. Yes, MaxPax started playing StarCraft 2 at 8. Well, so that was a lot more... Well, maybe it was exactly as dramatic as it needed to be. We still got plenty of games out of these two. And if they keep going this way, they'll get progressively more stressful as time goes on. Now, a Macorax from ByuN, a hidden barracks, trying to stress out MaxPax. MaxPax building his gateway in his own main. I don't think we'll see the concussive shells this time. Where's that probe going? Is that probe gonna happen? Wait. Is this like he wanted to proxy? No, okay, he headed towards the natural. If he had just right-clicked on that location, I thought for a moment. Pushes the cleaning bot out of the way, which is suspiciously not a barracks, to be clear. That is not what a barracks looks like. That's a factory, so that gives away enough info. MaxPax building a zealot. And the barracks is heading back towards the main. You know, the Reaper timing will give away that this was not a proxy Rex. And the fact that the Reaper is now in ByuN's base. So, I mean, I guess he got him to build a zealot. I'm not sure how much value you gain by just killing the probe. No, the zealot is out. Stargate in production. Adept. We'll see if this Reaper gets caught. He's holding on to the shade to try to bait in the Reaper. Doesn't quite find enough. And what will we see first? Almost certainly an Oracle. But there's always room for creativity with Protoss. Show us your secrets. A Phoenix. Ah, and he's railing it like he wants to hide it until he gets several Phoenixes, which is a bold move. On the other side, it's going to be a Widowmine drop, which this Zealot will somewhat awkwardly scout. The Zealot that ByuN baited MaxPax into building will damage a Widowmine and scout the command center. So, and here we are. Take a seat over here. Just kidding. Well, this isn't fair. Why don't I get guns? Why did the Humans get guns? This doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, a Widowmine died to an Adept? It looks like it got a shot off on something. It was on cooldown. So, what is happening? Alright. All of ByuN's units are dead. A Zealot and an Adept have long-lasting trauma. The Phoenixes finish off the rest. So, what's going on? Are there any more mines? There are 2 mines. There should be in a medevac. No. There are no medevacs. The mines are on the screen. Let's play Find the Widow Mines. Alright. Yes, here's one. And here's another. Congratulations! Now imagine doing that without observer cam. I don't mean observers. I mean, you know what I meant. Oh, it's rough. So now, MaxPax just taking a third. Probably the smartest move, especially since ByuN is likely to have some high-tech units at home. But lost a lot of his potential map control. Do you pick... Now, you always gotta... With Zerglings, it's definitely a no. But you always gotta make the decision of, is it worth it to pick up these units? Like, is it worth the energy? A tank, obviously, but a tank is a lot harder to kill than a Marine. I think if you're at full HP, you got decent energy, it's worth it to pick up a few Marines on the field. Of course, as there are too many, you lose your opportunity. Especially since he now... Nope, that mine! Did he notice it? Or did he just back off because of the Marines? That could have been devastating. We're going to see Phoenix Colossus. Which is... Wow, what a series. Like, this is definitely not the best series I've ever watched. Oh my. But it is one of the most interesting. Both of them are making similar and nearly equal levels of mistakes. And, like, mistakes are a little arguable. Some aren't. Some are pretty clear. Like, recalling 1.5 Phoenixes after losing the rest for almost no reason. Some are definitely mistakes. But they're both just so willing to throw units at their opponent with no regard to their survival. MaxPax with, like, an average of 5 charge lots per minute dying for no discernible reason. ByuN with at least 1 medevac every couple minutes dying for very avoidable reasons. But the thing is, if either of those things, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 even, if they get in, then you can almost win the game off that. Like 5 charge lots, 1 medevac, they have won games before. So they're both kind of constantly gambling. Were those medevacs just healing SCVs while they were lifted into the air by the Phoenixes? They tried. Why can't they pick up units while they're in the air? It should be easier. See, I'm starting to think. I'm using my big brain now. Colossus is on the way, so our 7 more gateways, bringing us to 10, is MaxPax with the infrastructure week here on the Protoss side. Templar Archives, 7 more gates, plus 1 extended thermal lance, Colossi. Meanwhile, ByuN's going to attack, so this is about the most vulnerable you can ever be. All of this stuff coming together with only 2 Colossi and almost no units to protect them. Of course, that window is quickly closing, and ByuN doesn't know exactly how large it is. He's getting +1/+1 combat shield, and those are far enough out that it looks like MaxPax is going to finish all these gates. Oh, God, there's a Widow Mine there in the most annoying possible spot. He splits off a Phoenix, eats the hit, and ByuN picks up medevacs and goes into the main. He will recall the Colossi out of the fight into the main. ByuN may very well pick up into the medevacs and chase down these units. The Cyber Core is vulnerable. The Cyber Core is now dead. The Colossi are stumbling around the main, trying to figure out where to actually go. The medevacs will now pick up and get out of the main. And MaxPax has deflected this attack, but I hesitate to say defended it. Because he took a pounding here as ByuN just worked him over. Though, once again, ByuN not as cost-effective as he might need to be to follow this up. Where's that? Okay, he picks up the... Now, the warp prism right there. That's something that might spot you, ByuN. It's a little... Alright, he picks up the medevacs. At this point, we just need a soundbite of it, so I don't have to keep saying this. It looks like the Widow Mine continues finding hits and is whittling down the Phoenix count. That one Widow Mine is going to cause the mass extinction of Phoenixes. I think it's killed 2, maybe 3, and it goes into the main. Charge lots in the 3rd. Fight in the center. MaxPax is certainly winning, but he's losing his main base. And remember the recall earlier, he doesn't have one now. The charge lots look like they'll be enough to clean up the Bio Army, but the rest of the Bio Army is heading back. Just warp-ins to defend. Targets a pylon. There are even more pylons here. Enough charge lots. The Widow Mine hits another Phoenix. The last Phoenix. There's no more anti-air. It's only Marauders. He gets out of the base. MaxPax on the 3rd. ByuN evacuating. It's all gone wrong. Or has it? It's not clear. Supplies are even. Observers almost dying outright to turrets. But just in time to kill another Widow Mine. The Bio Army still running the charge lots around because charge lots, and this is true, cannot fly. But MaxPax is in the natural with 5 unhallucinated and 1 hallucinated Archon who's just trying to fit in. The engineering bays are vulnerable. One of the most critical components of all this. And he picks up and goes into the main. MaxPax and ByuN's main. The wall is being busted down. There's not that many units left. Some more Vikings. Archons, real and unreal, just getting kind of stuck on everything. The Vikings doing their best. He might have enough. The Archons are doing all... No, the medevacs are flying out. Somehow some units survive. ByuN plummeting in supply, but MaxPax is losing a lot of his key units. Another Colossus down. ByuN whittling down the Protoss army. He's lost 22 SCVs. He's lost countless Marines and Marauders. He's lost many of his medevacs, though not all. Not nearly all, which means we know what's happening next. He somehow finished +2 attack. Some of the units from the main base made it home, and it's not yet over. MaxPax lost a whole lot of his key army units and didn't do critical damage to ByuN. But he does have a bunch of gateway units he slapped together, and he's maintained enough army supply that he may be able to hold the line. The SCVs may need to be pulled. Charge lots in the main. The turrets didn't do enough to stop the prism. The command center's going the wrong way. Charge lots warping in. He picks up 1. That's it. Not sure what the rest are doing. Meanwhile, ByuN bleeding out. He has no counter damage, and that's the real disaster in all of this. Transferring SCVs. ByuN at 0 gas income here, but he has plenty of gas in the bank, so that's not a big deal. A lot of the medevacs are badly bruised, and when the smoke clears, MaxPax stands apart. There's still a Widow Mine in the main, but otherwise, ByuN not able to kill any bases or a critical number of probes. Whereas ByuN lost a command center, a few dozen SCVs, and a lot of his army. That Ghost Academy not happening. The Bio Army has a 3 upgrade advantage. MaxPax just doesn't care about it. He knows his units are so strong, he doesn't need those upgrades. Is that true, though? As the Widow Mines manage to burrow in the midst of everything. Another Widow Mine hits the Observer as well. There is an armory. The Colossus knocked down. The Stalkers, no match. The Charge Lot slicing through. Warp Prism in the main. ByuN working the Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs for all he's got. And all he's got might actually be enough to hold the line. But a dozen more SCVs are dead. Oh my. ByuN heading out with almost as many medevacs as bio units. There's still a Widow Mine in the main. I don't even think ByuN knows about that one. Upgrades are quite a good skill to have. But they can only carry you so far. They can carry you further if there are no disruptors, though. The medevacs will boost as well. More Marines and Marauders. The Concave is about as good as it's ever gonna get, so ByuN gonna work it. Dancing back and forth. +2 is on the way. 2 Liberators. This is still ridiculously close, because ByuN actually has more army supply with a 3 upgrade advantage. The blink forward. It might have been a bait. The Stalkers are kind of out of position to deal with the Liberator flag. The Medivacs are out of energy, which means the Bio Army is just getting run down. The Liberators are not enough. There were charge lots in the third, and MaxPax grabs this one out of the fire. Oh, oh God, it was way too close on both sides. Somehow both of them were both trying to win and lose as dramatically as possible. Oh, upgrades, though. Not underestimated, especially when someone is as competent as ByuN. I mean, you give him wow. Oh, what a mess. Well, we got more where that came from. What? Oh. Yes, these AlphaX Pro Series. Shout out to Team AlphaX. Best-of-9. And that might be why we're seeing such hectic games, because players are just trying to... Best-of-9 is a lot. Even for aggressive players, especially for aggressive players. And that is probably why we're seeing such kind of... I hesitate to say it, but YOLO play. I don't know how better to describe it. As both of them willing to take significant risks. MaxPax coming out. I don't think... Wait, is that... Did he find like a little... Look at the property value. A gold base? Like a koi pond? Like a Protoss water fountain? How is it? How do you know it? Oh, even the probe is scouting this out. Like, that probe is a realtor. Probes know very well how important good real estate is. That's where they build their pylons. It's beautiful. They got some like grass stuff. There's even fish. There's fish. Oh my god! Somebody gather those for food. Anyways, there's a barracks as well, which is kind of really ruining the whole aesthetic, in my opinion. But can we talk about how beautiful this gold base? Like that, not even just the gold minerals. The SCV got stuck for a second, staring down the fish pond. He had to lift the racks to let it out. So the probe will see nothing in the main, which is everything he needed to know. This time, instead of a Mach Rex, it's actually a proxy Rex. Meant to get units into MaxPax's base more quickly and more dramatically. Yes, more dramatically, an important metric. Probe comes back in, gonna spot. I don't know if ByuN let him in on purpose, or... Well, the Reaper's gonna go into the main. Alright, we'll see. So, we're a long way off in a depth. This should get some probe kills. There's one. Looking pretty good thus far. Doesn't want to risk it through the mineral line. 2. He's thinking about more, but he knows that a cyber core unit is likely out. Ooh. He could find another. Oh, does he have the grenade? He needs the grenade! No! Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Gets out with 3. And importantly, he did get out. Just the existence of that Reaper makes it much harder on MaxPax. He can't send out... At least he can't send out both of his early game units. Oh, he cancels the Shade and almost catches the Reaper, but once again, the Reaper's going to keep him tied back at home. A good start. This is one of the best starts ByuN has had. He's lost his Reaper a couple times. He's been shut down. Last game was supposed to be a Widow Mine drop, but it never even got halfway across the map. These have been some maddening games. It's beautiful to watch, but also exhausting. And by the way, you can jump a Reaper in here, which is annoying, unless you're the one with the Reaper. I always forget about that one. Oh my. The boosted medevac. Angrily chasing the Adept and then realizing that do no harm, just drop it out. Well, one of the most obvious Widowmine drops in the history of Widowmine drops. Not a surprise whatsoever here for MaxPax, but does he have an observer? He doesn't have an observer. There is no armory, but huh. Yeah, the Adept, what am I watching? And here we go again. So an Adept blocked the command center for landing. Meanwhile, Widowmine drop. MaxPax too busy microing an Adept. Gonna lose 7 probes, and ByuN's gonna get out with 2 out of 3 mines. So was it worth it? I don't know. That command center is way off center. So, the Adept decided wanted to come back in. Overall, obviously losing 7 probes is worse, but it wasn't insignificant. Of course, because MaxPax was likely microing that Adept is why he lost those 7 probes. So, yes, finally a clean set of Widowmine drops from ByuN. Oh, MaxPax, oh no. Well, are we tapping it out? No, because there's fucking DTs. I'm sorry, hecking DTs. There's a scan, but he's just kind of getting out. And so this is why he wasn't looking over there. Another scan. And he, oh my god, okay, it dies at the last. He's warping in more DTs in the main. But I don't think the DTs are doing it here. The Raven is out. ByuN as, no, okay. If at first you don't succeed, warp in more DTs. Well, ByuN takes this one. What? 3-2. Okay. Well, here we are. Moving into Game 6 with even less certainty of how this will end. The Widowmine drop went off about as perfectly as it could. MaxPax unable to do the obligatory counter damage. And about the most concise conclusion we've had so far. Looks like everybody building their first production facility in their main. Important to note here. MaxPax checking for proxy racks, which, can you really blame him? We've had 1 outright proxy from each player, and it has resulted... Actually, no, not in a victory. No. MaxPax lost the game on Curious Mind. Yeah. Though, the proxy still did way more than it ever should have. Oh, the chest bump mid-map. Neither of them saw it coming. Between the scouting workers, as they have decided there's nothing right next to their base to worry about. A little bit of a probe blocking action. Just slightly delaying the command center. Hiding the Marine. Interesting choice. So, MaxPax trying to get a beat on whether it is a Marine. ByuN intentionally keeping that Marine on the high ground. Trying to give MaxPax the impression that it is indeed a Reaper. Instead of probably failing to kill the probe with the Marine. Adept on the way. Chrono boost on the Adept and the Nexus. We haven't seen that concussive shells in a while. He tried it out a few games. Didn't really like how it felt. Or maybe at this point it's played out. MaxPax is one of those like that says, I will never go over 16 perfectly split probes on my minerals, despite technically getting more minerals if I get it. I get it. Probes are definitely the easiest to set up the mining pairs as well. Zest will sometimes just sit there doing nothing with his probes, rather than defile his perfect 16 out of 16. Zergs and Terrans don't ever seem to be nearly as religious about that. Protoss just likes things clean, alright? Nice, sharp, shiny lines. Yeah, ByuN at 19 out of 6. Like, it's more minerals. Who's not going to hate on more minerals? Also, you do need SCVs to build things, so. Blink on the... This is standard in the sense that ByuN is going for a 3 racks, but these are the most normal builds so far. I guess the Widowmine drop was pretty standard, but it's still a proxy racks. So, a 3 racks play. MaxPax starting to get a little suspicious that he hasn't seen any factory units nor a factory. But he does not know that there is stim and combat shields behind it. I think he's starting to suspect something. Usually you'd at least see like a Widowmine or something. It's going to be 4 gates, so MaxPax is kind of matching this with some aggression of his own. The thing is, on paper, ByuN wins. Of course, Blink Stalkers make things a little weird at all times, but one good fight. Yeah, well, he knows now if he didn't know before. Adept taken out. Those Stalkers gotta work it. They gotta blink their way all the way across the map, doing whatever they can to slow this down, but MaxPax's not even bothering. I guess he doesn't want to get caught. Just trying to maintain the high ground. The army supply isn't that bad because MaxPax went for 4 gate. A lot of times you go 2 or 3. But since he was going for the more aggressive option, of course. A stim. There is no battery. The ghetto blinks from the prism. Without a battery, though, he's just bashing through. If he hadn't stimmed so early, the battery would have been done. Is there enough for overcharge? He doesn't have the energy. He just got the energy for overcharge, and that will be enough to clean this up. So, once again, ByuN just goes. He loses 16 Marines and 2 Marauders for 5 Stalkers, an Adept, and 3 Probes. I don't think that was quite worth it. The critical mass of bio is what keeps the Blink Stalkers at bay. But in losing all of that for a handful of Stalkers and a couple Probes, we will see. MaxPax's not risking the blink, but there's nothing to repair. A full stim! He's just fighting. Yeah, has to walk back, losing a little more than he probably should, but a lot less than he easily could. Finally, medevacs on the way. These units are counting down the seconds. Stalker count bolstered. MaxPax adding a 3rd Nexus. ByuN adding a 3rd command center in the main. +1 attack finishing for ByuN. Templar Archives this time from MaxPax. Feeling like he has the opportunity. What? Did he just kill his own Marauder? Oh, there's no way that was on purpose. He was not supply blocked. A few Zealots in front. The medevac is a huge deal. Any sort of healing here. Observer taken out. MaxPax not overcommitting. The worker count is a minor disparity as MaxPax was obviously focused on unit production. And overall, while he's been efficient, there is still This dangerous timing. And ByuN picks up AlphaX and doesn't head towards the main. He heads towards... He just kind of goes out. Which seems like a terrible idea with Blinkstalkers on the field. Yeah, it was. Huh. Well, that was terrible. ByuN, come on! Oh, this is an angry coach, but if it was, I maybe would recommend, you know, walking across the map with your tanks would be a strategy as well, but... We've got a Stormhammer drop loading up into a Prism as well. Storm is finishing a scan. I think he spotted the Prism and he saw the Archon, which may be a giveaway. We see a Ghost Academy. ByuN is expecting an attack. He's right. An attack's coming. There are no upgrades from MaxPax. Once again, he's just not... He knows Shard Lots and Archons. They're just so good on their own. They don't need upgrades. Finally finishing a Forge is almost an afterthought. He's looking for the win here, though he doesn't need to. There are several storms in that Warp Prism. But ByuN is pretty entrenched. MaxPax sees this. There's an observer right there. They can both see the observer. MaxPax is gonna go anyway. Alright, Liberators are here. Tanks on the high ground. The storms are good. They're good. They also hit the Zealots. They're okay. More units coming down. More storms. MaxPax is breaking through the center line. Another storm really starts to whittle things down. It's looking... Oh, wow. He has so many storms. I think he had 2 storms on each Templar. But as soon as they're gone... Well, ByuN is holding, but the SCVs are starting to become vulnerable. The tanks easily taking out the Stalkers, but the Zealots are another story. So MaxPax does damage. And he removes the entrenched position. He killed 17 SCVs, which didn't do that much for the worker disparity. Obviously, ByuN taking a hit, but it's only a 11 worker lead. MaxPax really focused on the attack. Yeah, the thing is, more Templar, more storms. Without the storms, he has no chance of breaking through. I don't believe there's an armory for ByuN. Just the obligatory several Zealots making their way out. Without an armory, the upgrades will draw closer to even, but Ghosts with enhanced shockwaves will do a lot. Blinkstalkers find a medevac, looking for another. Eating a whole lot of tank hits here. Supplies still even. Where is the Templar drop? I have no idea. Where's the Prism? Oh, it's just chilling at the 3rd. ByuN actually ahead on supply. Which means his army is quite overwhelming. He has a few Ghosts with this, though almost impossible to catch all the Templar before they get their storms off from the Prism. Yeah, still no armory for ByuN. But building up a very strong army composition. They're both very ready to punch each other in the face again. You can tell they want to. ByuN always wants to. MaxPax, it's not so much a punch to the face as like a shiv to the kidney. Or maybe like tying your shoelaces together and then throwing some pocket sand and then banging your head into the wall. But it's a little bit of a different style. ByuN, medevacs all over the place. If he slips on any one of these fronts, he's in trouble. But MaxPax has to divert his army perfectly. Multiple spotter pylons, and Yep, there's another pylon. Nope. I guess it worked out. Well, and then he picks up and goes to the main anyways. Because, of course, this observer doing a lot of work at ByuN's base. The supply's still even. The worker count's not overwhelmingly high, as both of them really focused on army production. Finally, an armory, 13 minutes in for ByuN. It looked like MaxPax had a deadly army, but he didn't have the economy to really fill it out in time. Now, with 2 medevacs lurking, with ghosts on the field, with Vikings in production, MaxPax has lost his opportunity, I think, for an outright killing blow. Of course, a few storms can always change the story very quickly. More ghosts and Vikings. Zealot gonna spot ByuN's 4th, and that might become a focal point here. Upgrades being filled in for ByuN, but not gonna have his customary upgrade advantage. It's +2 attack for MaxPax against 1-1 for ByuN. But ByuN a lot less reliant than usual. He's got 10 ghosts. The sensor tower will give this all away. A scan towards the main. He's sending the double drop in. Here we go. Yet again, the Vikings find an amazing angle. The charge lot shaved down. The Warp Prism is everything. The Warp Prism has 4 full energy Templar. The EMPs across the board. Storm's looking good, but not good enough. He's tearing through the front. He's tearing through the back. He's tearing up the base. And right now, ByuN, well, actually a warp and of charge lots will help MaxPax press through. The Forge is gone. The Dark Shrine, no +3, but MaxPax is pressing the issue into ByuN's base as they just start throwing punches left, right, center, and behind. A storm hits ByuN's drop, doing critical damage. It looks like the attacks on both sides are going to be whittled down at the last second. Another EMP. It looks... Colossus is still one of the main survivors here. Stim should take it out. Finally, a few stalkers try to target down, get the ghost, supplies even. All right. 62 to 42 workers, but ByuN does have mules. MaxPax lost his forge, and he still has a prism. ByuN is closing in on 2-2, so hold the phones. He might still have that upgrade advantage. Colossi on the way. He did take out, I think, almost all of the Vikings. There are 2 Vikings left. The splash damage being filled in. ByuN gutted the main. MaxPax rebuilt a forge in the designated forge location, which is as vulnerable as possible to drops. A lot of people have a bad habit of doing that. 2-2. +2 armor is done. There isn't any instantaneous splash. And by that I mean there aren't any disruptors here. And that means upgrades will still kick in, even if Storm doesn't care about your armor, just generally being good. The Warp Prism maybe showed its hand a little early. Knocked down. The supply it's still unclear. They're gonna pick themselves back up, put together what armies they can with the scraps of their economies, with the dregs of their infrastructure, and whatever remnants and survivors of the previous battle. The main base is literally gone for ByuN. It's heading to the 5th. It's not dried up for MaxPax only because ByuN gutted it several times. The natural's pretty much out of minerals on both sides. Just a few hundred left for MaxPax, and mules have dried it up for ByuN. The 3rd base is still a little bit of time left, and the 4th, pretty fresh. As we head, once again, taking a little longer this time towards 200 supply. Observers still finding opportunities. Is that a storm prism? Of course it is. Another attack. EMP's at the front. A huge bio ball. A juicy storm target here, but will he be able to... Oh, beautiful storm! It's the majority of the army. The medevacs have a lot of work to do. Still more storms. The Viking count pretty damn high. There's not that many stalkers to deal with it. There were a couple tanks, not involved anymore. ByuN struggling. His army in autumn colors. He does have the 2-2, but 3-3 is a long way off. Multiple command centers building, not yet done. Oh, missed the mark on that storm. Both command centers do awkwardly finish. MaxPax testing the waters here. ByuN surprisingly passive. I don't see anything else happening on the other side of the map. We're not doing early game blink stalkers here. We've got full near 200 supply armies without many workers behind them. 124 ByuN, 134 army supply. It's about as much as you can get. DT Blink, +3 attack, a disruptor. Observers, another command. Okay, ByuN. Alright. I look forward to the day you're able to use those. We'll see. EMPs, find the mark. A lot of the Archons stripped of shields. Oh, more EMPs. Beautiful EMPs. He needs the storms. MaxPax not finding it here. He needs something. A disruptor in the front. Vikings juggles a Colossus into the prism, but MaxPax still having some trouble here. Where are the EMPs? The storms hit the front line, but EMPs on the rest. Maybe a storm to the north. Colossi being knocked down. ByuN closes in. Disruptor targeted at the last second. MaxPax crumbles. The Archons are gone. The Immortals are obliterated. The Stalkers will blink away in their cowardice. He'll warp in 16 more, but will that turn the tide? No. More meat for the grinder. EMPs across the board. Well, these are badly bruised bio units, but Stalkers are no match. The Disruptor gonna force some micro back. The medevacs are nearly out of energy. Shield battery overcharge helped a moment, but MaxPax soundly defeated. A decisive victory for ByuN. Somehow, though, not a win. MaxPax still has that base to the top left. A couple disruptors will stall out potential defeat. 3 disruptors at a time, as it's just a bio ball now. EMPs looking for something. The Stalkers are closing in. It's not over yet. They just keep hitting each other. Disruptor shot. Misses the mark. He's got more where that came from. You gotta be careful. The reinforcements are doing damage. He's running out of Ruptors. A shot from both sides. 3 Disruptors vulnerable. Targeting the one with the cooldown. Stalkers doing their best. It's not remotely good enough. Another shot. Wards away the army for now. The medevacs pick up and they go to the main. A few Stalkers. The full medevac at the front. DT's with Blank. He gets a scan. Everyone's here. Shield battery overcharge. The DT's cleaned up. ByuN's army is too damn strong. Blank Stalkers force it back. And once again, ByuN dives for the throne. It looks like it was enough. There was, on the other side, he was scouted on his base. Over here, it was finally... Oh, he sees the army rallying down. MaxPax taps it out. What a game. They just refuse to stop beating each other. Neither willing to let up on the aggression and almost ruining both of them. I felt like in a reversal, MaxPax actually had the initiative. He had the army for most of the game. But ByuN did not surrender. He survived. 3-3. I like ByuN using Liberators. Not necessarily because ByuN's great at using Liberators, but you can tell the war that's happening in ByuN's head. Like, he knows Liberators are a helpful unit and usually a very good choice. So he builds a couple. But then he's like, but I hate using Liberators. So he just kind of stops. I don't think he's ever had more than 2 Liberators on the field at any point in this series. Because you know what Liberators aren't? Medevacs. And you know what Liberators can't do? Pick up your army and send it to the main. Which, on this map, in this series, will probably be the most dramatic and expected possible move on Blackburn for Game 7. Usually the decider, but here. I wonder how we're going to... Usually in Best-of-9s, it will be a loser pick for the last couple of maps. Because the map pool usually has 7 maps, but if you go to a Best-of-9, then more competition with the loser picking the map. Some tournaments will use loser pick for the entire series, but usually you have the pick man phase beforehand. Not sure how the AlphaX Pro Series does it, but they do it so entertainingly, so I can't complain. When I came into this, I did not expect one of the longest series, even with Best-of-9. I did not expect one of the longest and most evenly matched series. Well, I guess it makes sense. Both these players are quite evenly ranked. MaxPax actually a little higher, though he does compete in Europe as opposed to Korea. They just have such similar styles, too. Mostly offense and when forced to, defense. And it's chaos. Controlled, mostly controlled chaos, but chaos nonetheless. MaxPax opting for the Stargate. Usually a strong choice, but could leave a vulnerable opening against another 3. ByuN just committed to the bio place. He did one very successful, I might add, Widowmine drop. He's tried another couple builds, mostly involving concussive shells. But another 3 racks build. You can really tell what he likes. And even though I think it's mostly one of the most counterable styles, he just makes it work for him. Like, of the options that Terran has, if you go into a game and you tell your, especially Protoss opponent, what your strategy is. Like, if you say, I'm going for Widowmine drop, that does not significantly reduce the strength of the Widowmine drop. You still have to react in time, you still have to cover the right angles. If you say, I'm going for a 3 racks stim push, that significantly reduces the strength of this 3 rack stim push. You can get a Colossus, you can get shield batteries, even get sentries maybe for force field. There's a lot of options. Which is why ByuN is hiding this away from the ramp, constantly closing the door against the Adept. But MaxPax sees a second barracks and doesn't need to see any more. He knows exactly what's happening now. Yeah, yet again, a bunch of Marines and Marauders heading across the map. Immortal on the way. MaxPax actually went for a 3rd. He went for a 3rd. Which means, right now, MaxPax has 3 Adepts and 3 Phoenixes. He'll have an Immortal. But that's not remotely close to enough. If ByuN decides to hit the 3rd instead of the natural, he's going to kill the shield battery. There's no concussive, I guess, is the only bonus here. Some gateways are coming, and he's going for the third. Which is a big commitment, but obviously the biggest reward. Wow, he's doing a lot of damage. Stim is there. Guns down one Phoenix. Gets a second. The Immortal is dangerous too. He's just stimming through. He's tearing them up. Okay, he just kills everything. Well, I guess that works. And then he goes back to the third. He's going to get that too. Yep. Well. All right. This is horrible for MaxPax. It is one of the best counters to the early Stargate, especially Phoenixes. Phoenixes are here to deal with, like, Widow Mine Drop. This is about as far away as you can get from Widow Mine Drop, as I previously mentioned. So, oh my god, he doesn't care. He does not care. Those Marines, this is about as much as you could ever hope to get. He got all the units and a Nexus. He got an Immortal, 5 Adepts, 3 Phoenixes. He's lost 50 gas to 575. It's a disaster for MaxPax. It's just... How does he survive the follow-up? And this is one of the most clear-cut. Like, even with a Colossus, which is still pretty far out, the Marines are back, damaging the shields, which... And ByuN picks up the Medivacs and goes to the main, which the Phoenix is not able to intercept in time. The mineral line vulnerable. The probe slaughtered. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised to see 2 Gs as ByuN puts himself on match point. Jimmy. Well. 4-3 ByuN. It looked like MaxPax may run away with it. But ByuN has kind of found his number, and apparently just YOLOing Marines and Marauders across the map. Berlingrad is the choice again for Game 8. I don't know how I feel about ByuN making this work. Like, he does the kind of strategies and just makes the kind of decisions that I would criticize your average Diamond player for. And part of that is because your average Diamond player is trying to copy ByuN, and has been for several years now, since the last time they really played, 2016. But here he is again, sending Marines and Marauders across the map, dropping with reckless abandon, trying to out-micro Colossi with Marines, and succeeding. It feels like he shouldn't keep getting away with it. But maybe the oldest ways are the best. Probe heading back in, taking a look around. Will ByuN commit the Marine? If he thinks he can kill the probe, I think he does. MaxPax's gonna force the issue here. Yeah. Saying, are you going for a Marine? Knowing whether or not there's gonna be a Reaper is a huge deal. And, oh, it's the concussive shells again. Oh my. Ah, yes, the 2 Marauder tag team Punisher squad with their Punisher grenades and their swag. Their armor too large to walk correctly because they have to hold their big-ass grenade launchers, which can not only break your body but your spirit. Or so they say. They're kind of full of themselves. Well, it's going to be a 3-Rex. Opening with the concussive. He's not hiding it this time around. He's not doing some sort of hidden 3-Rex. He's proudly displaying his barracks play. Recalls the Adept, does MaxPax. Quick reaction. I think a good one. Yeah, get out of here. Let the men handle this, Marine. Marauders on the way across. A shield battery will be done. Is that a robo? The robo vulnerable. All right. Marauders now on patrol. I'm not sure if this is that co-op mission. All right, we've got another death squad coming in. As the Marauders just made the full trip and now heading home. The Adept finds its way behind the mineral line. What did we just see there? What was that? Is that a... I'm sorry, my eyes... Did my eyes deceive me? No, he was shooting at the Adept. I'm not crazy. It's just the Adept killed the SCV. For a second, the timing looked like the Marines killed the SCV. All right? I had to blink. Or I blinked at the wrong time. I don't know. There's some blink-related joke. Speaking of, 10 seconds away. Blink finishing up. Is there stim? Yes. Combat shield not yet started. 2 Marauders in a bunker are going to be hard to contend with for a handful of Stalkers. Yeah, you don't want to... Charge is on the way. I'm kind of just waiting to see which of these is going to throw the first punch. And then, of course, which is going to throw the last. Medevacs on the way. ByuN not heading out immediately, but instead a delayed medevac push. This will give MaxPax an opportunity to build up his gateway count and get charge. He's threatening with Blink. MaxPax just not a believer in upgrades. Four more gates, gonna bring his total to 8. About as many as you can support on the early 3 base here. Stalker's actually fighting the Marauder bunker, which ideally will be repaired. A couple medevacs on the way, and I think ByuN moves out with this. On the other side, no hint of splash damage. He wants to meet units with units. Not gonna rely on some power units like Colossi or Disruptors or Templar. MaxPax want to fight head on. Charge and blink. And a whole lot of it. Yep, here comes ByuN. No third command center. Might add one on here. Is he really dodging blinks? He's dodging stalker shots with the medevac. Of course he is. Whereas the blink stalkers are dodging the marauder grenades. Does MaxPax have enough units? Oh, who's the stalker? Charge is done. But are there enough charge lots? There's only a single battery here. Oh, beautiful force fields. ByuN with the slick pickup. Another okay force field. Still no forge from MaxPax. As time goes on, it's going to get harder and harder to make this work. He starts one, kind of acknowledging that upgrades exist, for once. Shield battery overcharge forces the issue. ByuN continues grinding things down. Where's that Prism? Prism's out. The thing is, right now, it feels like ByuN can't, or MaxPax can't warp anything on the other side without losing. Oh my god. Stop blinking your Marauders. That's illegal. That's for Protoss. Well, the couple Widow Mine's gonna hit. Reinforcements on the way. Warp Prism, I think, caught by Select All Army Key. ByuN just grinding through here. This is very close. The medevacs are being forced back. There's enough Blink Stalkers to help gun down Marauders. The Warp Prism's still not a factor here. The Widow Mines were cleaned up. Warp Prism finally warps in. MaxPax not really paying attention on that side, I don't think. Stalker's not able to find much. The Forge is done somewhere. He hasn't started any upgrades. Dropping into the natural. This should drag some of ByuN's units back. Indeed it does. ByuN has taken a third. There are more upgrades on the way. +1 attack starts for MaxPax. He's been fighting with brute force and will continue to do so. He's in the third. The Stalker's blinking away individually. Widow Mines triggered. A couple... a Warp Prism not quite being perfectly targeted. He's gonna... Oh no. Loses the Prism. Gonna make things harder. 8 SCVs have died, but MaxPax still microing at the front. A charge lot. Hey, wait a second. Oh, shit. Sprints into action. 9 SCVs have died now. MaxPax with a slight income lead, and will use it for a Robo and a Robotics Bay. So overall, not critical damage for ByuN. Against ByuN, rather. But didn't lose too much either. Yeah, he's lost 33 charge lots. I might take that back. Look at the supply. 33 charge lots is not an insignificant number. He's lost 1,700 more minerals. The supplies are starting to look real grim here. Armory is on the way a lot quicker than we're used to as well. Though it is at the third, as ByuN just slaps it down, I guess, wherever it's most convenient. Which is an awkward place to be delayed here. Charge lot's working through. ByuN has a pretty deadly army. There's no Colossi right now. Oh, no, no, no. The 4 Immortals. Force fields there. Probes transferring at possibly the worst time. The robotics facility exposed. Widow Mines triggered on the probes. MaxPax suddenly had a worker deficit. Oh, blinking over the top of the force fields, but not really finding the mark. ByuN up 30 supply, and the Robo died. There's only 1 robotics facility now. There's not the option to mass those Colossi. ByuN has just held his foot on the gas here. And MaxPax is not finding the counter damage. Feels like ByuN has gained momentum throughout this series. MaxPax has lost track of it. Four Immortals, but 2-2 is on the way. ByuN, his medevacs perpetually out of energy. The Vikings kind of caught in an awkward spot here. Okay. Okay, that was awkward. Somehow one Viking lives. Another stim. Another chance for the medevacs to earn their pay. Colossus pops out. MaxPax isn't dead, but he doesn't have a Dark Shrine. And he only has the 1 Robo right now. The army trying to box out a lot of tough Robo units and also a Colossus. Stalker's working on both angles. He knows that much of the army is back at home waiting for the counterattack. And ByuN picks up into the medevacs. And heads to the main, awkwardly spotted by the pylon here. And ByuN picks up into the medevacs. 1 Marauder left behind because of some poor logistics. There is not remotely close to enough Stalkers to stop this. A bio army at the front, just Stalkers in the main. A right click, not enough. The upgrades are not finished, but doesn't even matter. EMPs at the front. Colossus knocked down. The Bio Army winning at the third and winning in the main, kind of. That's less decisive. MaxPax on both sides torn apart. He holds the main, but he loses the series. As ByuN finds himself the victor yet again. Several games in a row. What an experience. What a mess. But ByuN with the stamina to come out on top after such a grueling... Wow, is that nearly 2 hours? Grueling. I can't even enunciate anymore, but... 5-3 in this AlphaX Pro Series. I hope you enjoyed my coverage of it, my commentary. I hope you check out more. And I hope I made your day a little bit better. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that. Made it this far. Good luck, have fun. Thank you, Team AlphaX, for your Pro Series and the players for the games. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.